Here we are at Saka Museum on the Ayana Resort Estate. Opened in 2024, it's already been recognised by Time magazine as one of the world's greatest places in 2024 and awarded World's Most Beautiful Museums in 2025 by Prix Versailles. So looking for something different to do in Bali, let's take a look.
Today we have arrived at the Saka Museum in Jimbaran. It was about 45-minute drive from Sanur. Traffic wasn't too bad along the toll road, zipping along nicely. And this is meant to be an amazing modern museum. It's at the Ayana Resort, which looks absolutely astonishing. And when we win lotto, we're coming here to stay. But we'll go into the museum and hopefully it's fantastic.
The Saka Museum is dedicated to Nyepi, so we're going to learn a few things about that and hopefully a lot more. This is sort of the lobby area. There's a coffee shop right over there. That's where you come in first up for the ticketing. You can book online, which we did, and you get a 100,000 discount, rupiah, 100,000 rupiah discount. So instead of costing 600,000, it cost us 400,000. So that is probably advisable to do. You just book directly through their website.
So first stop is the bathroom, and that would have to be the fanciest toilets I've ever seen in my life. When you walk through the door, all the lights come on, and then you go into the cubicle and the seat automatically goes up, and then there's a great big remote control on the wall, and you press it and all the water comes out. I didn't know how to stop it. I could not stop the water. I have got absolutely soaking wet. And when you sit down on the loo, the seats are heated, which is totally unnecessary, but they're actually quite hot, which was a bit of a shock. Very interesting to see. Amazing toilets. We've come to the museum, and as usual we have to get a coffee first before we start anything, and we ordered 2 coffees and it was $18, so that's quite expensive, and they're just in a cardboard takeaway cup. They're not in a proper cup or anything. $18, I nearly died.
You do get a fancy spoon stirrer.
Oh yeah, they have amazing spoon stirrers, like little bamboo sticks. But anyway, there's no food in the museum, like you can't buy food, but there are 23 restaurants here in the complex, the resort. But I imagine if the coffees are $18, I think the food is going to be costly, so we might have to go hungry for the day. But yeah, we'll see how we go, but I don't think we'll be eating here, and we definitely won't be staying here. But it is beautiful and it will be worth seeing. So we'll just go without food.
Well, one of the first things that you see when you come into the Saka Museum is the interactive Subak Irrigation System exhibit. The Subak exhibition, which tells you all about the self-governing communal democratic association of farmers who work together with the shared goal of farming rice. To ensure that each individual member has equal and fair treatment, the Subaks abide by a wig, a written rule book that they created to govern themselves. This is a place where it's good for kids actually, but adults too can pretend to be a master rice farmer. The Subak system is BALI'S traditional way of distributing water to rice fields, and it's been around for hundreds of years. It's basically the reason why BALI'S rice terraces look so picturesque. On this interactive screen, you can move little gates, redirect water, and try to keep all your rice fields perfectly hydrated. And one wrong move and suddenly your rice is either drowning or filing a complaint for dehydration. It's a fun way to learn why the water management is so important. Rice crops are picky, would you believe? And they need just the right amount of water at the right time. Too much or too little, and say goodbye to your bowl of nasi goreng. You stand here on these little footprints, and there's a little movie on the floor. Once again, it's an interactive way of learning about the Subak irrigation system, where the water comes from, generally from Inakung, and how it's distributed. So this part is all pretty much interactive with touch screens. You can create your own offerings here, and it goes on to explain about the integration between, or the symbolisation of kites, scarecrows, offerings to the gods to help reward the farmers to get a huge big rice crop. Different types of rice from Bali. So there you have it, the interactive Subak Irrigation System exhibition. And can I just say that so far, all through the museum that we've seen at the moment, it smells really new. Unlike a museum which is supposed to be old and musty. Bali has certainly changed in look from when this map was drawn. That was from 1868 by a Dutch guy, Francois Valentin. And this is a library. They even have a book on Le Meilleur, whose museum is in Sanur. And this is next to the little auditorium which shows movies of relevance to the exhibitions that they're showing. And as with museums, there's a lot of lights, but it is dimly lit. There's a reading desk with a lot of chairs, so probably students might come here in groups, I'd say. Comfy chairs, beanbaggy type chairs over in that corner. Mark's hiding in the semicircular soft seating chair. And inside the auditorium, where the movie of the day will be playing, The film will be presented in a mix of Indonesian and English with subtitles. So apparently it's all in English, so there's no need they have translator headphones. For those that speak different languages other than English and Indonesian, and they will translate directly into your headphone. But we'll leave it there for the time being and come back in part 2 with the Ogo Ogo display, which is the highlight of a visit to the Saka Museum. Make sure notifications on because you don't want to miss that one.